Questions to ask a potential lawyer. I have done these type of videos in the past. However, today is going to be a fresh look, fresh perspective. In COVID times, things shifted. For example, there are not as many trials as there used to be. First question to ask, how long have you been practicing? The reason I like this question because a lawyer who has more experience is more likely is going to be more expensive. Depending on the case you have, you might need, if it's uncontested case and it's simple and you don't need $1,000 per hour kind of lawyer, but you also need to know if this lawyer has been practicing 100% family law or is practicing other types of law. I personally prefer someone who has 100% family law as a background, because family law is so intertwined. There are so many things to learn, and as a family law specialist, we also have to have many hours, 40 something hours, I forgot the number, of ongoing education, which means we have to know the newest case laws, we need to know the newest cases, we have to stay on top. And if a lawyer is practicing family law, criminal law, and personal injury law, guess what? It's really hard to know one law in depth, which is needed in cases that are not simple. Also, trial experience. So if I am a client who doesn't know where this case might go, I need a lawyer who is willing to go through whatever it takes to get to point B. Meaning, if negotiation is needed, I would like this lawyer to be a good negotiator. If trial skills are required, then I would like the same lawyer to be a trial lawyer instead of having to find another lawyer, because when I look for a second lawyer, it doesn't look good to have many lawyers on the record. First of all, it means that I'm changing lawyers, which means there is potential some kind of conflict, disagreements. Also, the second lawyer needs to spend time to dial into the case, to read the files, which cost money. It can take up 10 to 20 hours, depending on the case file, to get the second lawyer up to speed. I'm not even talking about third and fourth lawyer, which raises a red flag for each lawyer that client chooses. So picking the lawyer right will determine the tone of the procedure and the case. And I would also like to ask a lawyer, what is your style? And some lawyers will say, well, I only mediate. And that's fine. However, if I need trial lawyer, I would like to have both, as I said. I would like to know how many trials this lawyer brought in the years of experience. If a lawyer says one trial, then I would be worried about my trial, because that lawyer would need much more experience. I would say at least 10 to 20 trials. I would feel comfortable. The more the better. However, on the other side, if the lawyer has 5 years of experience and 20 trials, that lawyer might be, especially in family court, almost 97% of the cases don't go to trial. And if the lawyer has too many trials, that speaks for the lawyer being litigious in a way. So I'm gonna make sure the lawyer adopts my pace. Meaning, if I need the lawyer to be more cooperative and not take things personally, especially with opposing counsel, and drive the case and billable hours. Speaking about billable hours, also as a side note, if I were to choose a lawyer, I would pick, depending on the caliber of client I am. So if I'm a huge multi-million-dollar kind of client, I would pick a bigger law firm, because they will have more resources, more lawyers. But if I am in the range of up to $40 million client and have foreseeable assets that are not too complicated, I would not pick a lawyer in a big law firm, because typically lawyers in a big law firm, they have to have certain amount of billable hours. And when they have that requirement, they bill the client more hours typically. So I tend to get clients from bigger law firms because they feel they're paying too much. And I also would like, when I interview, if I were to interview a lawyer, I would like to get invoices weekly, not monthly. Some clients complain that they didn't receive invoice until the case was final. That's completely unacceptable to me as a client. I would like to get as frequently as possible. I know not all law firms would like to send invoices weekly. I do. Most law firms send monthly, but that's something to keep in mind to keep the budget and sort of being in charge and transparent about how much this case is going to cost. Responsiveness. If when I interview lawyers and I'm a potential client and a lawyer takes 3 days to respond, I'm not going to hire this lawyer unless this lawyer emails me, hey, I'm in trial, I'm going to get back to you, or at least secretary calls me. That's fine, but no response for several business days is not acceptable. So I call family law as emotional emergency. Usually when people email, they want answers now. And they know that, okay, 24 business hours is fine. So that's what I expect from my team, to respond within very reasonable amount of time. Or at least let me know, hey, I cannot respond. If it's urgent, just let's schedule something. Certified family law specialist. If I have not a very simple case, anything beyond uncontested, I would want family law specialist, someone who has to meet the MCLE, meaning requirements of other education, and know the law in and out so that there is no glitch. Also, if I have a case where my spouse already filed for divorce and has a lawyer, I would like to know the relationship between these lawyers. I prefer lawyers to be in a semi-good relationship, because if they hate each other, they might take it up on us clients and have their own conversations that basically ego gets in the way. I would like lawyers to cooperate with each other, even if they go to trial. When they give each other deadlines and follow, and they have an ongoing relationship. And family law world is pretty small in the Bay Area, so we know each other. And I know some lawyers have a blacklist. They say, okay, if opposing counsel is that lawyer, I'm not going to take that case. So you want to, before you hire, you want to know if that lawyer has a blacklist. Clients love to ask, how much is my divorce going to cost? And I wonder if it's a trick question or not, but I would still, if I were a client, I would like to ask that question, although I know the answer. The lawyer would say, well, it depends on your case, it depends on, but on the estimate of how much a day of trial is going to cost, I will know what to expect. If a lawyer says it's $25,000, great. I'm talking about Bay Area, and we're February 22nd, 2022. If a lawyer says $100,000, some law firms have a retainer of $75,000. So that decides about how the lawyer is thinking, what is their expectation about any case. And of course, a question about disciplinary action against the lawyer. Clients usually don't think about that, and I have never been asked that question because it's public record. You can just Google the lawyer and say State Bar California Diana Romanovska, and then you will see that link, and then it says no disciplinary action for this lawyer. However, I would still ask that question. It's important to know if this lawyer has been disbarred at any point in time for example, I don't know, taking clients' money or something else. I would want to know. And least but not last, I would ask the lawyer, well, is there anything I need to ask you, or would you like to know something else in order to proceed? It just leaves an open-ended question, and sometimes lawyers will share some cases or something that might be useful. And I think that completes my list of questions for a short interview of a family lawyer. I hope that was helpful. If you liked the video, click like, subscribe. I will see you soon. Bye!